Zubair Trabzada was 14 when he left Afghanistan. He came to Buffalo for a year through a student exchange program. But while he was away, his mother passed unexpectedly. Amina, his mother, was known for her generosity. The wife of a big politician, she helped dozens of widows and orphans around their home in Kabul, Afghanistan's capital.
She was the type of woman that always, she had put, other people who were in needed a lot of help first.
A few years after her death, Zubair returned to Buffalo. As he studied at UB, he was determined to do what his mother did, help the less fortunate in Afghanistan. So he created the Amina Foundation.
We're trying to focus on helping the widows and orphans of Afghanistan because of the decades of war in Afghanistan. It has left, many men, women, and children with just catastrophic deaths, and a lot of the men that have died, they have left behind their families. And Afghanistan, just traditionally, we come from large families, so there are a lot of orphans and widows that are out there that are in need of a lot of help.
In November, Zubair teamed up with other students he met at UB. Each from the Middle East, they have their own reasons why they wanted to join the foundation.
I was raised by a single mother, and the whole foundation, or the whole purpose of Amina Foundation, is to help widows and orphans. So our main target is really women in Afghanistan who have children but no man to support the family. In the Middle East, especially in the countries where more fundamentalists are, women are basically deprived from their basic rights, so they can't work. Even if they're hungry, their children don't have any food, they still can go out and find a job and work. So they live off of charity. That's how their whole life is.
For Sarah Hussein, being a refugee fuels her passion for the cause. Sarah and her family left Afghanistan when she was only 5 years old. They were going on vacation, and while they were away, the Taliban took over. She has never returned to her home.
We just planned to go for 2 weeks vacation with family to Uzbekistan. It's in Central Asia. And it was not safe for our family to go back, so we just, stayed in Uzbekistan. It was difficult because we just planned to stay for 2 weeks. We left everything there, and not being able to go back, Afghanistan was like shock for us. And so we had to adapt to new environment, new culture. And I find out through Durgam that Zubair is working on the Amina Foundation. And I was like, I want to help too, because that's my future goal, actually help being like medically, help, or at this moment we're just doing financially. So I was like, my plan was like to become a physician assistant and, go back and help. But then I don't have to wait, till I become a physician assistant. I can do it right now, All you gotta do is just a teamwork and, have that passion of helping. And I found those people with me, so we united and we're working on this project.
The group, which includes Zubair and 5 UB students, has raised over $3,000 since November. They held a bowling event in March, a soccer tournament in April, and have collected various donations.
In Afghanistan, because the difference in currency and all, and the economy, $100 is actually enough food for a family of 4 to 5 for a whole month.
Twice per week, Zubair's brothers in Afghanistan provide $100 worth of food to a widow and her children. Just as their mother did in Afghanistan and Pakistan, where they fled during the Civil War, Zubair's brothers give oil, rice, beans, potatoes, and other cooking supplies.
Every month, actually, she would, she would do the same thing. She would actually find a family who needed a lot of help, and she would, provide them food. Basically, the same thing that we're doing right now in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Yeah. So even when we were refugees, she always felt that, we have enough. There are other people out there who need, more help than we do.
myself, growing up in Jordan, we weren't a wealthy family. We were basically living off month to month basis. Like we never kind of, we never had a luxurious life. So all the families in the picture I could relate to.
A lot of them live in, like tents and just, houses that were like damaged by war, like a lot of them like pots and pans wise. I mean, they, like they have like maybe one pot that they cook, that they have made. I mean, they don't have any stove or anything like that. There's no electricity or anything. They make a little, place from like mud, and then they put, burn wood from around the areas, surrounding areas. They collect and they actually make the food there. I mean, that's the biggest goal in my life, not to, be somebody very rich or, this, but just to be able to be in a position where I could help, the people of Afghanistan, my people, and these women and children who a lot of them don't even know about these wars. They have nothing to do with these, but they're suffering through it because of it.
The Amina Foundation just recently applied to be a student association club, and they're still waiting to hear back from the SA. In the future, they hope to be an official New York State not-for-profit organization. For Spectrum 360, I'm Lisa Khoury.